Hello there. So I've finished playing Death Stranding recently. I've finished the plot within 52 hours and I mostly ignored all secondary quests, although I'll get back to them later. And if someone is interested, I would like to share my thoughts about this game. No, I need to do this, and I would really want you to listen. It's not gonna be specifically a review or reaction or thoughts, it's going to be something in between. No plot spoilers will be mentioned here. Also, I will try not to spoil any gameplay mechanics, but maybe giving you a little glimpse of them. There will be probably just some wandering or first cutscenes from the game. If you want, you can even listen to this as a podcast. It should work just fine. Just so you know, I haven't watched any reviews or explanations about this game, so all matches are purely coincidental. Alright, let's get into it. You know, I do understand why this game is called controversial and gamers split into two camps. Some say that this is total garbage and some say that this game is a masterpiece. But as usual, the truth is somewhere in between. As Joseph Anderson said once, subjectivity is implied, although I'll be trying to be as objective as possible. The thing that did more harm than good in my opinion was aggressive marketing. Hideo Kojima was seen on every TV screen, ads and pre-orders, reviews 1 week before the game was supposed to be released, gameplay trailers, etc. I do get it. Everything that receives extra attention for a very long period will start to irritate you really soon. Again, all this hype made players expect something extraordinary, revolutionary, something they haven't seen before, the game for ages. And I'm not saying Kojima did not do it in a way, but still. Unfortunately, many people out there suffer from false expectations, and it touches not only video games but life in general. The easiest way to get upset about anything is to imagine something superb and amazing, and then get upset because something was not as amazing as you imagined. Seriously, I've recently talked to a guy who said that Sekiro is an awful game. I asked why, because I like Sekiro, objectively. And he said that it's not as deep as Dark Souls. I said, okay, so you're blaming the game that is not Dark Souls for not being Dark Souls, right? And then something clicked in his head. Happily. I mean, yes, Sekiro sure does have some problems, just like Death Stranding, but I cannot say that this is a bad game by all means. And in my opinion, Death Stranding clearly doesn't deserve 5 on Metacritic from people who haven't even finished 1/3 of the game. So we're playing as Sam, the boy who... sorry, the wrong line. The man who delivers. And that's what we're doing. Deliveries. The same thing that was shown in every gameplay trailer. If someone told me several years ago that I would enjoy playing a game about deliveries and pay $60 for that, I would laugh out loud. Who could have thought that someone would make this process challenging and engaging not only because of a twisted and mysterious plot, but from the perspective of gameplay as well. And this happens thanks to the social system as well, and we'll get to it really soon. And I'll put aside some things like game cycles and balance of items here. I'll just say this thing to you, if you think that there is no actual gameplay in this game. Almost every main quest gives you a new game mechanic, or make existing ones deeper. Besides that, all the items that you receive through the game are important. You know how it usually happens, you find the perfect set of armor or weapon and play with it till the very end of the game, and all those other sets and weapons are useless. But not here. You learn to combine things and think way too many steps ahead, and it's not a bad thing, but it's not the reason why I would recommend this game. This game is not only about deliveries but managing resources and helping other players as well, and this helping other players point improves the game dramatically. The thing is that there is a social system of communication among players built, where you can leave a ladder or a rope and other people will see that and will be able to use it, and vice versa. Different buildings, resources, even roads can be built in this game, together. If you appreciate the efforts of other players, you can leave several likes. They don't actually influence anything, but at the same time, no matter how stupid or dull it may sound, it just works. You feel rewarded. It depends on the person, but I sometimes do feel a necessity to help someone in real life. And it shouldn't be something major. If I have 5 minutes a day to help someone, I'll be glad to spend these 5 minutes helping. Yeah, you cannot literally see other people there, but where I saw that someone used my ladder, my rope, took my resources that I intentionally left, and many other things, I was happy. I was happy to help someone to reach the same goal I'm trying to achieve. I haven't played all games in the world, and there are probably games out there where you can do something similar. Already mentioned Dark Souls does something like this, for example, but I haven't experienced anything like this on this scale. Besides that, you don't even need a PS Plus subscription. Your attempts to communicate and help other players are not hidden behind an extra paywall. I think having a subscription would contradict the main idea and theme of Death Stranding. But again, it's not the main reason why I would recommend this game. It's time to talk about the main idea of this game. Just like in the first Metal Gear Solid games that also had a specific idea or theme, Death Stranding revolves about the idea of unity. The unity includes care, support, and not harming other people unless it is absolutely necessary to do so. And all aspects of the game are headed towards this idea. Nowadays, we live in a world full of technologies that were supposed to unite us, and on the one hand, they actually do. On the other hand, hate, misunderstanding, insults, bullying, supremacy. Instead of helping and encouraging each other, instead of uniting and showing each other how similar we are, we're trying to differ from each other. There's nothing bad about trying to be the best version of yourself, but not doing that by humiliating others. We tend to reject instead of accepting. We tend to tolerate instead of simply being patient. We tend to be heard without hearing others, and talk without letting others do it. Just like in Metal Gear Solid, Kojima expresses his thoughts and themes that worry him now. And many players could argue with me and say that the main theme is shown right in your face. And I partly agree, especially when in previous games Kojima was presenting the plot first, but still being loyal to the main theme. And on the other hand, the main theme is so closely connected and intertwined into the narration, you cannot say for sure where the theme and where the plot is. And in this specific game, I don't think that's something bad. Hideo Kojima confessed that he's prone to loneliness. Some people know more about loneliness, some people less, because all of us know what this feeling is. And the thing that crossed my mind once is that probably this game is much more personal than I thought. This game is not only about loneliness, but overcoming depression as well. Take one of the main enemies in the game, BTs. They are presented as human beings, ghosts, not spheres, not a mist or something like that. Metaphorical ghosts of the past. You can meet them only when it's raining or snowing, so the weather is rather dark and gloomy. You can walk around them, trick them, avoid them. But if you make the slightest mistake or lose control, they will try to drag you down, deliver you to the place where it may be really hard to get out from, and you have to fight a mini-boss to overcome it. I'm not even talking about using your own blood here, and only society, other people, can cure and help you. And I cannot praise enough his attempts to tell each and every gamer out there, you're not alone. And you may be sitting right here playing this game, but there are people out there who can understand and accept you. Even if you feel lonely, you can always turn things around. And he also shows that excessive unity can harm. You can even sense some Evangelion vibes here. Sometimes relationships can be hard. It's a hard work that demands engagement and resources. If you don't care about what you've built, it will fall apart. If you cannot cut the bonds that destroy you, you won't be able to build new ones. This game is all about balance, literally and figuratively. And this game probably has the best JoJo reference I've seen in years.
鳴き声が聞こえねえすか。ここじゃよ、丈介くん。赤ん坊じゃ。丸裸の赤ん坊がここにおるんじゃ。触ってるとわかる。透明なんじゃよ。なんすって。
This game is not perfect, of course. For example, driving here is almost the same as in Watch Dogs, which means that it's not really great. The delivery interface is way more complicated and overloaded than it should be, in my opinion. Some animations and movements may feel really awkward. Some backtracking may irritate you from time to time, and maybe 20 hours later I will be disappointed in world building just like I was in The Evil Within. But I cannot praise enough how in the industry, where you have to kill the bad guys, kill the monsters, kill the aliens, kill, destroy, smash and crash, Kojima is just standing there offering his hand and hands of other players as well. How in the world of microtransactions, loot boxes and casinos in a full-price game, you receive such an honest and sincere one? How in a world of fast-paced games you are offered to take a step back and slow down a bit? It's not like something like this wasn't shown in other media such as movies, books, anime or even other games. For God's sake, Persona series is based on communication with NPCs and making bonds with them. but it's not quite the same and the scale is different again. And of course, the world itself. I cannot even imagine how much effort was put into this story and world. I'm still a bit confused because I haven't found all the letters and notes. That's why I told you at the beginning that I would come back to this world. I want to know it better, although I'm sure that I won't find all the answers. I find it very interesting, this feeling of authorship, that this game is the production of an artist. Of course, I'm not saying that Kojima was creating this game all by himself, of course not. But it's really clear that the author didn't want just to tell the story. He had something to say and chose the game as a form of expression. The completed work of art is a finished process of interpretation and reflections of personal emotions and thoughts of an author. Of course, there will be people who reject his vision or claim that games are meant to be played, that games like Journey or Flower or What Remains of Edith Finch should not exist in this world. But I encourage you to give it a chance, even if you think that the pacing may be too slow. Maybe wait for a discount or buy it on sales, but try it. After all, Blade Runner was called Blade Crawler and claimed to be a science fiction pornography after the first views. But now, this is one of the best movies in the genre, and a classic of cinema. I still have a lot of things to tell you about this game, and who knows, maybe we'll come back to it sooner or later. But I may spoil some things I think you should learn and think about yourself. If I had to call the best association about this game in one word, I would say kintsugi. This is a Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with lacquer, combined with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. You don't simply throw away a broken thing. You keep the fact of breakage as a part of it. And not only do you repair it, you make it better. Thank you for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon.
The timefall fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.